Tucked deep in the Eschbach Valley near Remscheid stands the Elise File Factory. Built between 1830 and 1900, this cluster of stone and steel preserves a world where early 20th century machines still rule the workflow. Here, files aren't stamped out. They're forged through a precise chain of labor. Long steel rods, 2 to 3.5 meters in length, cut down to size, marking the first step in turning plain steel into a cutting tool. Juan Milano Boot, one of just 5 people keeping file production alive, feeds the steel rods into the splitting press. The machine snaps the raw steel into perfectly measured lengths. These blanks aren't random. Their cross-sections already tell the story, flat files in the making. Even now, the steel carries the exact profile of the tool it's destined to become. Next comes the shoulder. At the press, it's punched and pierced, preparing the steel for the tang. The tang is the narrow, wedge-shaped end of the file, the anchor point where much later a handle of wood or plastic will be fixed. Now the blanks move to the forge. Master file smith Friedel Steinkemper takes over at the hammer. The steel is driven into the furnace and heated to forging temperature between 950 and 1000 degrees Celsius until it's ready to be shaped by hand and force. After forging, the steel blanks are softened again, this time by heat. They spend 4 hours in an annealing furnace at roughly 780 degrees Celsius, then cool slowly to stabilize the internal structure of the steel. The process can leave the metal slightly warped. Each piece is checked by hand and, if needed, carefully straightened with a hammer. Next comes grinding. The blanks pass through a grinding machine that strips away the scale left behind by the forge, revealing clean steel beneath. The machines here aren't off the shelf. Many are proprietary designs built by the Elise company itself. Anna Caddick operates the emery line for flat files. The blanks travel lengthwise on a conveyor beneath a rotating emery stone, which roughens the surface just enough. This matte finish is essential. Now the focus shifts to half-round files. Unlike flat files, these taper gently toward the tip. Master smith Friedel Steinkemper forges that point by hand, working at a hammer fitted with a swinging arm, shaping the steel precisely in the anvil die. Standard files move through conventional grinding machines. Wet grinding is punishing work. Operators wear heavy aprons and knee guards to protect themselves from constant moisture, long known to cause rheumatic damage. Natural stone wheels filled the air with fine dust, leading to silicosis. Today, artificial stones are mandatory. At Elise, the grinding stone is powered by an electric motor. Before grinding begins, each file is locked into a wooden grinding block. The block stabilizes the piece and its shape changes depending on the file being worked. Half-round files now return to the emery machine. And through it all, the Elise File Factory remains what it has been for 4 generations, a family-run operation built on steel, skill, and time. Before cutting begins, annealing lubricates the steel blanks, a task long carried out by women in the trade. Rapeseed or turnip oil is applied to the side that will be cut first. At the cutting machine sits master file cutter Arno Weber. The file advances automatically beneath the cutting chisel as each tooth is struck into the steel. A built-in press locks the file into the transport carriage, preventing it from lifting or shifting under impact. There are different cuts for different jobs: single cut, double cut, and rasp cut. In a single cut, the teeth run parallel. Here, Weber is producing a double cut. First, the undercut is laid down. Then a second series of teeth is struck at a sharp angle across it. Once one side is complete, the file is flipped, re-oiled, and cut again. Weber now turns to a square file. To handle the range of shapes it produces, Elis maintains a wide collection of cutting machines. The hammer strikes at a constant rate. What changes is the speed of the transport carriage. That speed determines the cut density. Interchangeable pulleys fine-tune the process. After cutting, each file is straightened by hand using a soft hammer. Final length is set by stippling, cutting and grinding the file to exact size. The file is nearly finished. The Elis factory mark is stamped, by hand or, as seen here, with an embossing machine. If the customer requests it, their own brand is stamped alongside. Hardening follows, using a method unique to the Elis factory. The files are submerged in a salt bath heated to between 770 and 790 degrees Celsius, depending on the steel. Each file is lowered tip first with tongs. Hardening gives the steel its final character, a hard, wear-resistant surface with a tough, resilient core. But heat can distort the metal. To correct this, the files are quenched in water in 2 stages. After the first, they're inspected and, if necessary, straightened with a wooden hammer. A second water bath cleans the surface, preparing the files for the final steps. But if you want to see a feat of craftsmanship even more incredible than this, be sure to check out this next video right here. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to our channel right now.